The hidden cost to being your own financial advisor is absolutely staggering. The numbers will blow you away. Whether you're light or heavy, the numbers are still so powerful of a force that they will blow you, knock you right out of your seat. When it comes to navigating our personal finances, many of us think we can go it alone, that we don't need the guidance of a financial advisor to make smart money decisions. But the truth is, having a professional by your side can make all the difference in achieving financial security and reaching your long-term goals. Hello, my name is Tommy Cloud. I am president of Third Act Retirement Planning. It's a company that I started back in 2000, right after I graduated from college with a degree in finance. I have also obtained the Certified Financial Planner designation, Accredited Asset Management Specialist, Chartered Financial Consultant designation, and finally, the Qualified Kingdom Advisor designation. One of the biggest challenges I think individuals face when they don't hire a financial advisor is the lack of knowledge. Without a deep understanding of personal finance and investing, it's easy to make costly mistakes that can set you back for years. For example, not knowing how to diversify your portfolio can lead to unnecessary risk taking, and not understanding the fees associated with your investments can be a huge drain on your wealth over time. Vanguard did a study on this and showed that the number one determiner of how a mutual fund or ETF was going to perform were actually its fees and not the people that were in place managing those funds. Having a financial advisor is nothing new in this world. In fact, Pharaoh, many thousands of years ago, was probably the first wealthy person or ultra wealthy person to have a financial advisor in Joseph. And you can see that Joseph literally handled everything for Pharaoh. He was his CFO. Now, going that far with it, you don't have to necessarily go that far for most people. Doesn't require you to have a family office like the ultra wealthy do and have people managing your checkbook and that type of thing. However, it has been seen to be extremely beneficial. We know this is wisdom. One of the wealthiest people that ever lived said that there's victory in a multitude of counselors, and talked about numerous times in his writings, which is called the Book of Proverbs in the Bible, numerous times King Solomon wrote about achieving and receiving counsel. And that's not just for your finances, but in all of your areas of life. We want to seek counsel in order to have success. All right, we are going to go ahead and jump right into Vanguard's Alpha study they did about the value that wealth managers bring to their clients. And Vanguard, again, is a mutual fund company. This is not a financial planning company. So they don't really have a dog in the fight. They just want people to put money in their mutual funds. Their mutual funds are accessible to anyone with or without a financial planner. So again, this is what Vanguard found from their decades of having investors come in. They, of course, saw that a lot of the investors that were investing in their mutual funds were less emotional, and they decided to do a study. So as you can see here, that on this study, looking at what the different values bring, the typical value added for a client, these are in basis points. And I want you to have this to reference back to for the rest of this video as we're talking about the different values that I think that you can find from a financial advisor or financial planner. And you'll be able to come back to this and take a look at this. But one of them is just suitable asset allocation using broadly diversified funds and ETFs. They decided that this was really not that valuable. That wasn't the thing that was really bringing value. Of course, they would probably find that with them being low-cost mutual fund company. That makes sense. What about cost-effective implementation, expense ratios? Now, they did find value in this. They found that advisors on average were able to reduce their clients' portfolio expense ratios by 30 basis points. That's 0.3% or 30% of 1%, which is pretty substantial as you're compounding that over a period of time. And if you have an advisor that's charging, say, 1% and some advisors don't, we do our fees differently, and it could be AUM, it may not be. This is called AUM, when the fees are charged on the amount, when I said 1%. Now you're only really paying the advisor 0.7% because now they've got the hard cost of a 30 basis point savings. Rebalancing, which they found to be 14 basis points. So just simply the advisor knowing how to find funds that could get you exposure in the asset classes that you need at a lower cost, that's already up to 44 hard cost basis points, or 0.44%. Behavioral coaching, they found to be probably the largest, and I have found that to be true too. I commonly will have clients call me up with ideas that I can steer them away from or towards, depending on what the idea is. And sometimes I can be working with them for, say, 10 years, and one idea that I give them could save them $100,000 or more. Just one simple idea or one idea to avoid. And, I've done that plenty of times. I've had clients not take my advice. In particular, there's so many examples I could give of that, where they lost everything they had trying different investments that were not what they should have been in. But then they were able to learn from that and take my advice moving forward. Asset location. Now, again, this is where do we put bonds versus where do we put stocks? Do we put bonds in IRAs, or do we put bonds in taxable accounts, or do we put bonds in low-cost variable annuities, liquid variable annuities? Where are we going to put bonds? They found, again, that was anywhere from 0 to all the way up to 60 basis points, which again is 0.6%. Spending strategy, withdrawal order. This is huge. Most people are clueless on when and how to withdraw, especially when they throw Social Security into the mix, and they found that this could be anywhere from 0 to 1.2% a year. And then the total return versus income investing, they found that wasn't really that valuable to DIYers, investors. So the range of potential value added on the low side would be, I guess it could be maybe you could do 0.44% all the way up to 3% net of returns, which would more than pay for the advisor. And this also is not even talking about the tax savings, tax planning, the estate planning piece of it. And the most important thing of all that we get from financial planners, I'll talk about next. Let me interrupt our programming here on Life with or Without a Financial Advisor and have some station identification. We have the ability to help you with your finances and with your investing. Estate planning, we do insurance reviews, tax planning. We have CPAs that work for us and do our clients' tax returns as well, which is part of our comprehensive wealth management services. But I just wanted to make you aware today, if you want us to take a second look at your portfolio, there's no cost to it. You can click on the link in this video. If you don't want that, you can look and click on a survey that we have to see if you're on track for the retirement that you want. We also have a retirement planning and investment scorecard that you can click on to see how well your knowledge is and how prepared you are with your investment and retirement planning strategies. And with that, I'm going to give you back to our programming. Okay, so we've already looked at some of the biggest challenges as far as allocation goes, as far as the expenses go, and then we took a look at the Vanguard value tool and can see a lot of it really is emotional. Peace of mind is the greatest gift that my clients get from working with me. I can tell you that with absolute certainty. They tell me that, I ask them that, and that's the common answer that I've gotten since 2000 when I started this business. And why having a money helper matters. Let's talk about that a little bit. Making money choices when you're feeling worried or excited can be tricky. When the stock market goes up or down, it's like being on an emotional roller coaster. Financial advisor, a money helper, if you will, can help you calm and help you make smart choices with your money. You also can be missing out on money saving tips when you're trying to do this on your own. Without a money helper, you might not know about special accounts that can save you money on taxes. You could also miss out on free money from your job, like when companies match what you save for retirement. You want to make a money plan that works. Everyone's money situation is different. A money helper can create a plan just for you based on what you want to achieve. Without this help, it's like trying to reach a destination without a map, in my opinion. For most people, let me tell you about two couples. The first couple tried to handle their money by themselves. Even though they earned good money, they didn't save enough for retirement. Now, in their 70s, they worry about having enough money to live comfortably. The second couple got help from a money expert. They made a clear path, saved regularly, and invested wisely. Now they feel confident about their retirement plan and don't worry about money as much. This second couple has guidance on setting up their estate plan properly, whether it's a wills-based estate plan or a trust-based estate plan. They have their insurance properly lined up for them. They also have the ability to know that any money that they do have linked or invested into the stock market is not a danger because they have protection on it. So even if it drops a big amount, they still don't have to worry about losing it because of the protection that they have. And they know they're not in an expensive illiquid annuity either, in case you were thinking that. They have a financial plan that they can review at any time to make sure that they're on track to live comfortably until their planned demise, which usually for our firm, we do life expectancies out to 85 to 90, are our typical life expectancies, with the average for men being about 76 right now in the U.S. and the average for women being about 80. So we like to go about 10 years above that, which we found work. I've never had a client run out of money. Most financial advisors I speak with have never had a client run out of money. Having a money helper can help keep you from making emotional money decisions, which is so huge, as Donald Trump would say. It's just unbelievable unbelievably big that you really need to avoid making emotional decisions. We're always told to cool off for 24 hours before we send an email when it involves relationships. And the thing about money is sometimes we make decisions that we need to run by someone else because they can really impact us as we get older, when we might be laid up on our back or really need that money. We can't earn it anymore as much as we could when we were healthier. Additionally, they can also help you pay less taxes. And number 3, they can show you the best ways to save and invest. Number 4, they can help you plan for a comfortable retirement. You want to think of a money helper as a life coach. They guide you to make better choices and reach your goals faster. One key thing about having a financial advisor is that it takes humility. It takes a lowering of your pride. It takes a willingness to pay someone for their expertise, to be able to delegate some of your personal finances, to become a delegator and focus on what's important. Delegation doesn't mean you don't review. Delegation doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. Delegation simply means that you use your times and talents on things that are more important to you. Your spouse, your children, your grandchildren, your friends, your church, your hobbies, whatever they may be that are important to you, your health. You've got so many things to focus on, and a financial advisor can give you the peace of mind, better sleep. So difficult to put a price tag on better sleep. It's so difficult to say how much is it worth to you to be able to feel better each day, to feel more confident about your finances each day, and on top of the feeling to actually not run out of money. We appreciate you watching the videos. I would encourage you to subscribe and like this video if you have benefited from it, of course. Not to mention, make a comment down there. I'll always respond to the comments from someone. It's actually a real person that has a question or a comment about what you found about working with financial planners.